everyone, my name is CENDIKIA DEWANTI and I'm from Mantu Pekanbaru. In this occasion, I want to tell you a story where the title is The Crooked Picture. The sound of a step awakened Radhika. She sat up and looked around, but there was no one in the room. She reached out and put on the light. It's 30 minutes past 4, but she could hear the sound of the traffic in the distance. Usually, they never disturb her. Why was she rising early recently? Why was it disturbing her? Or it just stopped because she moved into the new house? Then she stared ahead of her framed family photograph on the wall. There, again, the photograph of Dada and his brother in their graduation robes was cropped. Radhika and her family had lived in a double-storied house at the crossroad of the main shopping area. It was such a central location that their grandfather had restarted a restaurant on the ground floor and had done very well and still run as a family business. But now the roads were being widened and the building was to be demolished. The government had been offered them a good compensation for this prime land, but Radhika had known no other home. Then one evening, Radhika overheard her father saying to her mother, "Darling, what do you think? Suddenly my cousin they know about this compensation and have written to me asking for their share in it. They seem to think that this is an ancestral property that which belongs to the two brothers jointly. And actually, my grandfather gave the elder son another piece of land in the heart of the town. But his grandchildren sold that and went abroad. My father gave this building and he left it to my sister and me. I just can't understand why this cousin is making a claim now." "Why didn't you show them your father will? It should be clear and enough about whom the properties belongs to, right?" "Our it was that easy. They say the building itself belonged jointly to both brothers. So what we need is not my father's will, but my grandfather's and the title deeds, or else we should be forced to split the compensation, and then we won't have enough money to take the place that we want to shift the restaurant to." Radhika moved away from the doorway and wondering how she could help her parents. They will have to find the missing papers fast because they had been given 60 days notice when the building was to be razed to the ground. Radhika helped her mom to pack and clear out the old stuff. Then she asked her mother, Mom, do you think the will could be somewhere here?" "What do you know about that?" "I heard Papa telling you that we will have to find his grandfather's will." "Yeah, we have to. We look among all of the official papers and neither the will nor the title deeds are there. Even the local bank had nothing." "Do you think it could be hidden in some secret place? Maybe there is a hidden space behind one of the cupboards, or maybe on the wall?" Mrs. Sethi smiled and said nothing. Then Radhika decided that she could search the house from top to the bottom in a short time. When nothing was found and 3 weeks had passed, Radhika began to fret. Where could Papa's dadas have kept the papers if it's not in an official place? So that it could be somewhere that he thought it's safe but no one else knew. She gave it a great deal of thought but no answer came. One time, Radhika began to get disturbed at night by the feeling that there was someone in the room, someone moving around and talking. Then she asked her mother, Mom, did you come to my room last night?" No, I was busy. Why?" "That is strange. I heard a sound of somebody talking from your room and I wanted to check. But when it wasn't repeated, I didn't bother. I thought it may have come from outside." The next night, Radhika heard a crash. She jumped up, she put on the light, and she saw the picture that hung on the wall opposite her bed had fallen. and the glass had smashed. She collected the glass pieces and hung the picture again. But somehow, whenever she looked up, the picture was crooked. The light was still on, when suddenly she felt something cool on her arm. Nothing moved, but like someone had touched her clothes in passing. Then makes she very scared. Radhika's hair stood on end. Then she whispered, "Who is it? What do you want from me?" Then Dada's picture began to swing like a pendulum on the wall, but the other pictures remained still. Then the movement stopped it, but the picture stayed crooked. She grabbed the picture and turned it over. She thought maybe the wheel is in here. She began to dismantle the frame. It's 5:30, but there was nothing behind the photograph, only the old cardboard and some paper as padding. As best as she could, she reassembled it and hung it back on the wall. She was getting back into bed when there was nothing as the sound behind her. She spun around. Then the picture was at an angle, swinging as tall like someone playing a game with it. Radhika looked hard at the photograph and wondered what was it trying to tell her. Then it struck her. She cried and running out of the room and forgetting how early it was. Then she went to her mother's room and asked, "Mom, wasn't Dada's brother much older than him, right? Why are you up so early? And what are you talking about, Radu?" "I figured it out. All this time I thought the picture was of two brothers, but I just realized that both of them in their graduation robes. So one is Dada, but who's the other?" Again, she opened up the frame, and both of them looked at the rear of photograph. On it was written in faded back in Nagesh and I, graduation 1945. Then Mr. Shetty entered and said, "Oh, I remember Uncle Nagesh. Yes, he's my father's best friend. He went to the law after graduation and used to advise Dada about the business and all the legal stuff." "Yeah, that's it. That was Dada had been trying to tell me. He wants us to contact his friends, Nagesh. Yes, I'm sure." "But Uncle Nagesh died 2 months before Dada because of an accident." "What? It can't be. Someone trying to tell me about this picture. That's why it's always crooked." Mr. Shetty listened but didn't say anything. Radhika watched his serious face with sinking heart. He didn't believe a word what I've said, he thought. But that afternoon, after Radhika came back from the school, there was a surprise for her in the store. A stranger was at the dining table and talking serious to her parents at lunch. Papa looked up cheerfully. He called her and said, "Darling, this is Uncle Nagesh's son, Advocate Prakash Rao. He follows his father's footsteps and today he has all the documents what I need." Radhika couldn't stop herself. She felt very happy and speechless. She jumped out of her chair and she ran to her parents and hugged her parents. Then she cried. Prakash Rao smiled to her and asked, "But how did you know? And what made you come to me?" "Come here. 'Cause Dada's told me." The end. Thank you. Goodbye.